They sent the video at 02:13 a.m. No message, just a link. I watched it once, only once, and that was enough to etch the sound of my brother's voice into the deepest part of me. He was tied to a chair under a bridge somewhere near Juarez. The camera trembled with laughter in the background. The kind of laughter men use to hide their own fear. For 14 hours, he begged. For help, for mercy, for me. When he said my name for the last time, his eyes weren't looking at them. He was looking at the camera, at me. The feed ended abruptly. Then a still frame appeared. A message carved into his skin before they ended him: "Stay out of Mexico." I didn't move for a long time. The room was silent, except for my breathing, slow, measured, deliberate. I'd been trained to endure the worst things men could do to other men. But this wasn't war. This was personal. And they didn't know who I was. Master Sergeant Gabriel Rivera. Call sign, Ghost. 19 years, Delta Force. I'd interrogated men like them before. I knew what they feared most. My brother, Luis, wasn't supposed to be there. He'd promised he'd stay out after his first brush with the Sinaloa boys. But he went back, said he could fix things. That was his mistake. Thinking honor meant something to people who sold death by the kilo. I tried to warn him before my last deployment. He laughed, said I lived in the past, called me a ghost even then. He didn't know how right he was. After the video, I called his wife. Her voice cracked, too calm for someone widowed by monsters. She said the cartel mistook him for someone else. Mistook? I replayed that word in my mind until it felt like a lie dressed in grief. She knew more than she said. I heard it in her pauses. The betrayal didn't just come from Mexico. It was closer, domestic, familiar. For 3 days, I gathered everything: flight manifests, cartel communication leaks, border crossing reports. I didn't storm in. I observed, watched. I always found the truth in silence. Her phone records told a story she'd never say aloud. Daily calls to a number registered in Baja. A number connected to Capitan Mendez, a former federale turned trafficker. Luis had once mentioned Mendez, called him a friend. So I traced the payments, transfers, dates, and there it was. 2 weeks before my brother's death, she'd wired money to Mendez. A small amount, just enough to draw no attention. But I saw the pattern. Regular deposits, consistent, predictable. She hadn't been his victim, she'd been his bridge. When Luis found out, he must have threatened to expose her, and Mendez made an example of him. Not to send me a message, but to silence her secret. The truth arrived in a single document, a financial trail I had my contact in D.C. pull through encrypted channels. Her signature, her account, her guilt. She wasn't crying because she'd lost him. She was crying because she'd been caught. I didn't call, didn't shout, didn't accuse. I sent her one email, a single attachment, the bank records. Her reply came an hour later. "Please, Gabe, it's not what you think. I didn't know they'd—" I closed the message halfway through. The thing about people like her, they always think they can talk their way out of blood. I booked a flight that night. Not to Mexico. Not yet. I had one last conversation to arrange, with Mendez. We met in a cafe near the border, neutral ground. He didn't recognize me. To him, I was just another American in plain clothes. "Coffee?" he asked, smiling like he hadn't signed my brother's death warrant. I nodded, watched him pour sugar into his cup with the hand that ordered the execution. When he asked my name, I told him Rivera. His face shifted. Slightly. He knew the name. "Luis?" he said quietly. I didn't answer. I just slid a small USB drive across the table. "Every account you've ever touched," I said. "Every name. Every partner. U.S. intelligence already has it." His hand trembled. "What do you want?" "Nothing," I said. "You've already given me what I needed." I stood, left the cafe, and didn't look back. The border agents found him 2 days later, alive, stripped of every asset, every ally, hunted by his own men. I hadn't touched him, didn't need to, I just exposed him. When I finally listened to the last minute of the video, the part I couldn't bear before, I heard something I'd missed. My brother wasn't begging anymore. He was whispering a single word: forgive. It wasn't for them. It was for me. Forgiveness, though, that's not in my nature. But I did something close. I let them live. Now, when I sleep, I don't see his face anymore. I see theirs. The ones who betrayed him, destroyed each other trying to survive the truth I set loose. Justice wasn't fire, it was gravity. And all I had to do was let go. He suffered for 14 hours, so I made sure the people who caused it would spend the rest of their lives remembering every single second of them.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and comment. Subscribe now to Cheating Stories Insight World for more amazing stories.